Dear listeners, today's story takes us into a life shaped by poverty, sacrifice, and unconditional love. It is the story of a young girl who grows up with empty pockets but a full heart, and a father whose love becomes her greatest strength when money is absent and the world feels unforgiving. This tale explores hardship, resilience, family bonds, and the quiet courage it takes to keep going when survival itself feels like a daily battle. It reminds us that wealth is not measured by what we own, but by who stands beside us when everything else is lost. Listening to this story will help improve your English listening and speaking skills, while leaving you inspired by the power of love, patience, and perseverance against impossible odds. The title of today's story is When Love Was Enough. And now, let us begin. The girl learned early that silence was sometimes kinder than questions. Her name was Anna, and she grew up in a small, dim apartment where the walls were thin and the nights were long. Rain slipped through cracks in the ceiling during winter, and cold crept in without asking permission. The apartment never smelled of fresh paint or new furniture. It smelled of old books, weak tea, and effort. Her father, Michael, worked wherever work could be found. Some days he loaded trucks before sunrise. Other days he cleaned offices after everyone had gone home. There were weeks when money arrived late and weeks when it didn't arrive at all. But no matter how tired his body was, Michael always came home with the same gentle smile. "Did you eat?" he would ask first. Anna learned not to answer honestly when the answer was no. She understood hunger in a quiet way, not the dramatic kind shown in stories, but the slow, aching kind that teaches you patience. At school, she watched other children open lunch boxes filled with colors and choices. She pretended she wasn't hungry. Pretending became a skill she mastered early. Michael noticed everything. He noticed the way Anna cut her food into smaller pieces, the way she said she wasn't cold even when her hands were shaking, the way she never asked for toys or clothes. One evening, when Anna was 9, she found her father sitting at the kitchen table, counting coins under a dim light. His shoulders were slumped. His hands trembled slightly. "I'm sorry," he said suddenly. Anna froze. "For what?" "For not giving you more." She walked over and placed her small hand over his. "You give me everything," she said, without hesitation. That night, Michael cried quietly when Anna fell asleep. Life did not get easier. Bills piled up. Work became unpredictable. Some months they chose electricity over food. Other months they chose food and lived in darkness. Anna grew older, taller, quieter. She studied under flickering lights. She borrowed books. She wore the same shoes for years, patching them carefully. Teachers noticed her intelligence, but they didn't see the weight she carried home every day. One winter, Michael fell sick. The hospital smelled of disinfectant and fear. Anna sat beside his bed, holding his rough hand, terrified of what would happen if he didn't wake up one morning. "I'll be okay," he whispered, reading her fear. "You just keep believing." With Michael unable to work, Anna took small jobs after school, cleaning, tutoring younger children, delivering papers. She hid her exhaustion behind smiles, just like her father had taught her. There were nights she cried silently, face buried in her pillow, asking the universe why life had to be so hard. But every morning, she got up. Because her father did. Michael recovered slowly. When he returned home, thinner and weaker, Anna tried to hide how much she had grown up while he was gone. "You shouldn't have to do this," he said one night. "I want to," she replied, "because you always did." That moment changed him. Michael began encouraging Anna's education fiercely. He skipped meals so she could buy books. He worked longer hours so she could attend extra classes. He never complained, never asked for thanks. When Anna received a scholarship letter years later, she read it 3 times before understanding it was real. She ran home breathless. Michael read the letter silently. His hands shook. Tears fell onto the paper. "You did this," he said. "No," Anna corrected gently. "We did." The years that followed were still hard, but hopeful. Anna studied relentlessly. She failed sometimes. She doubted herself often. But every time she felt small, she remembered her father counting coins under weak light and smiling anyway. She graduated. She found work. She brought Michael to a better home, small but warm. The walls no longer leaked. The nights were no longer cold. One evening, as they sat together eating dinner without worry for the first time, Michael looked at her and said, "I was afraid my poverty would limit you." Anna reached across the table and held his hand. "It didn't," she said. "It taught me." Years later, people would look at Anna and call her successful. They would never see the nights without food, the silent tears, the strength of a father who gave everything he had, and more. But Anna remembered, and every achievement carried his love within it. The end. Thank you for listening to this story. We hope it reminded you that even in the deepest poverty, love can become a powerful force, strong enough to protect dreams, nurture hope, and create a future against all odds. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that inspire courage, compassion, and resilience. Stay with us for a new story every day, filled with emotion, hope, and life lessons drawn from real struggles and real love. And remember, when money is absent, love can still make a life rich beyond measure.